What's up, guys? One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 59 of our fairy tale reviews. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that like button down below. It means a lot to me that you guys hit that like button, so give it a touch. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I welcome every single one of you, new and old, to the channel with open arms every single day of the week, 24/7. Also, be sure to answer the question of the day, which will be in the description down below, along with my Twitter, so go check both of those out. And before we start today's episode, these episodes are not getting any better for me to try and talk about them, because they are just all over the friggin' place. But bear with me, guys. Bear with me. And with all that said and done, guys, let's get this mother underway. So we start off with Lucy being victorious. She beat an Irration 6 member, technically by herself, with the help of Hibiki and her celestial spirits. But it doesn't matter, she still beat her. She's got a win under her belt. Angel still got a loss, but Angel is still standing, and she is looking cuckoo, man. Like, she is looking Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs, that's for dang sure. And she summons Chisel, and Chisel, like, shoots, like, his blast, or its blast, but misses. And I guess Chisel felt the emotion that Lucy was talking about earlier, so he just disappears, or it just disappears. And Angel doesn't know what to do, so she just collapses. And then she talks about her prayer back when she was a little kid, you know, like Racer, with him wanting to be the fastest man alive. Angel's prayer was like sweet and simple. She just wanted to vanish into the heavens like an angel, hence the name Angel. So that was pretty interesting. I wonder if we're going to get a prayer and a little image of them back when they were younger with every single Irration 6 member. Also, another one of Brain's markings on his face disappears. So I wonder what's going to happen when all of those markings disappear off his face. And then Lucy is trying to rescue Natsu because the blast that Chisel shot onto the rock that was holding Natsu's log raft. And so now that that rock is gone, Natsu is just free floating down the river, and Lucy eventually gets on it with him, and of course they hit the cliche rapids and then the cliche waterfall. I feel so bad for Natsu. I mean, it's bad enough that he's sitting on the raft when it's moving in the water, but much less on rapids, falling off a waterfall. Oh my gosh, poor guy, he just can't catch a break. Meanwhile, there are a few other things going on. There's Urza trying to find Jellal still. There's Jura and Hot Eye, who is now good, talking about Nirvana and what it does. And Midnight is still going on a tear. His next victim is Ren of Blue Pegasus, and he just completely wrecks Ren. We still haven't seen what Midnight can do. It's just that all we know is that other people's magic is doing absolutely nothing to Midnight. And we see where Carla finally took Wendy, and she's like on a cliff with Carla, and they're talking about how Jellal and Wendy first met. And it's interesting because back like 7 years ago, the dragons left or whatever, because Metallicana, who's Gagio's dragon, Igneo, who's Natsu's dragon, and Grandina, who is Wendy's dragon, just disappeared 7 years ago to this date in the episode. And Wendy was like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 at this time. And she's just walking around in the forest, not knowing what the heck to do. She's just a little girl in a big, vast forest. And then Jellal comes. But at this time, like, at this point in time, Jellal was at the Tower of Heaven doing Lord knows what. So this Jellal comes through. And I don't think it's Jellal, because Jellal, the Jellal that's helping Wendy at this point has a staff. And if you guys know another Jellal look-alike with a staff, or 20 staves, I don't think that's Jellal. But anyways, we'll just call him Jellal for now. And Jellal and Wendy go traveling together to Lord knows where, and they're just doing their own thing. And Jellal's like a real, like an older brother type of figure towards Wendy, because, you know, he's taking good care of Wendy. He's treating her like, you know, his little sister, or even his daughter, which is kind of weird because Jellal is like 12 years old or something. And Wendy points out that one day Jellal was just acting real strange, and we see them walking, and Jellal just says, "Enema," and he just starts looking around. And if you guys know what an enema is, I can see why he's turning around. But he says enema, and like after that day, like he just acted weirder and weirder. Not weird, but like he just said that him and Wendy have to part ways. He introduced Wendy to the Kate Shelter Guild, and she's never seen him since until today. And she's wondering, like, I wonder if he still recognizes me or if he remembers me at all. And speaking of Jellal, Urza finally runs into him, and he is just doing his thing, just looking at the giant pillar of black light. And he's like, he just says Urza when he sees Urza, and he's saying, who is that? Why is that the only thing I can remember? And turns out that his memory has been wiped clean, except for the fact that he knew Urza, but he just doesn't know who she is. He just keeps replaying her in his head, and he's saying that every time he like says Urza, or he hears Urza, or he thinks about Urza, even though he has no idea who she is, he gets like this calming feeling. He gets like this sense of comfort and happiness, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And Urza is like trying to jog his memory, and she says, "You're Jellal. You killed the Magic Council. Pretty much, you almost killed the Magic Council. You killed your friends. Well, you hurt your friends. You killed Simon. You did all this evil stuff." And Jellal starts crying. Okay, Jellal of all people starts crying. He's like, "I can't believe I did this. Please tell me I did not do this." And that's pretty interesting. That's very interesting, because we're seeing a part of Jellal that we haven't seen for a long time. But anyways, we go back to Lucy and Natsu, who finally regained consciousness, and they got a new getup because Virgo summoned herself from the spirit world and helped Natsu and helped Lucy, you know, change into a new set of clothes, because theirs were like all tattered and whatnot, and they're looking pretty cool. And then Sherry comes by, and she looks normal, but she's saying, "All you fairy tale members have to pay for killing my love." And she starts, you know, doing her spiel, and she summons her tree puppets. But then Gray comes through. A lot of people coming through. And he pins her to the ground, says, "Look, she's turned, she's gone completely bonkers. We gotta stop her from doing anything else." And at the same time, Sherry's like complaining, like, "You fairy tale members killed my love. You guys are all gonna pay for this." And then Leon comes through, and I'm thinking, what in the world? We saw Leon blow up. We saw him and Racer blow up. But obviously he didn't blow up, because he tells us like his explanation on what really happened. And when he tackled Racer off the cliff, he cut off the bomb, and they fell to the ground. The bomb blew up in the air, but Leon still had to use like a lot of his magic to repel the bomb's like, you know the word, to repel the bomb's burst. And so he had to have some time recuperating. And the weird thing is, he brought the unconscious Racer with him. I don't know why he would bring Racer with him. And now Cobra is, you know, if you remember, Cobra was just spying on Jellal and was now spying on Urza and Jellal. He decides to come out and say, "Look, I've been spying on you, okay? I don't know what you're trying to do with Nirvana. We gotta do this. How are you still alive, Urza?" He's asking all these questions. He's doing all these things. And Jellal says his true intentions of what he wanted to do with Nirvana. And what he plans to do with Nirvana is blow it up. And he put like a self-destructing circle around Nirvana when he activated it. And we finally see the circle. And Cobra tries to, you know, defuse it, but it's so complex he can't do it. I'm assuming that Hibiki's the only one that can, because, you know, he's good with computers or whatever. But anyways, Jellal's gonna blow up Nirvana so nobody has to suffer anymore. And that's pretty freaking ridiculous, because I thought Jellal was gonna, you know, be evil with it, do evil things with it, but he's not. He's gonna blow it up. And he's telling Urza that he doesn't want Urza to cry anymore. He doesn't want her to be hurt. He doesn't want her, he wants her to be free from all this pain, and he says he'll take all of her pain, all of her sadness with him, because he plans to blow himself up. A lot of people are getting blown up in this arc. You got Leon and Racer blowing up, which turns out they didn't get blown up. And then you got Jellal trying to get blown up, and he puts a magic circle around his own chest, and then he like pushes himself into the the Nirvana, like the giant beam, and he says, "Farewell, Urza. I'm sorry for all this that I've done." And Urza's just balling out right now, so she just doesn't know what to do. And then at the very split second of the episode, the last split second of the episode, she like jumps to save him, but then it just pauses, and then that is the end of the episode, leaving us all at a cliffhanger. That didn't go as bad as I thought. I thought I did pretty good with keeping up with the episode, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to review it and whatnot. But anyways, you already know I don't like to end off without a question of the day. And today's question of the day is, I've been asked a few times in the past, and that is, what other animes do you watch? That's been asked towards me. So what animes do you watch besides Fairy Tail? What do you got? For me, I watch Naruto, which has been getting kinda stale. They're dragging it out way too long, in my opinion, because there's a lot of fillers and yada yada yada. But I watched that. I watched Attack on Titan, waiting for season 2 to come out because they're pulling a Rockstar and delaying it over and over and over again. Now they're bringing this BS middle school one. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to be. And other than that, I watch the Fairy Tail 2014, which is the newer one, which is really freaking good. If you haven't seen the Fairy Tail 2014, I definitely recommend it. The episode that I've watched recently, oh my gosh, it is intense. It is so intense. I cannot wait to review those. That's a long way. That's a long ways away. I also watched Dead Man Wonderland before that got canceled. That was a really good anime. I like it. Just kind of a lot went on in that anime. I didn't really care. I still loved it. And that's pretty much it for all the animes that I've watched. Well, I've watched a few more, but you know, I can't really think of any off the top of my dome. So let me know down in the comment section below, what animes do you watch besides Fairy Tail? And yes, it can be Fairy Tail 2014 because I mentioned it. So let me know down in the comment section below. And with all that said and done, guys, as always, keep it cool.